Well, a top Republican senator is now questioning conflicting information from the FBI and Homeland Security about the Boston terror attack suspects. Here's Senator Lindsey Graham asking Secretary Janet Napolitano to clarify which agencies were aware of Tamerlan Tsarnaev's 6-month trip to Russia. Watch this.
You said, I think, to Senator Grassley that the older brother, the suspect who was killed, when he left to go back to Russia in 2012, the system picked up his departure but did not pick up him coming back. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, and I can give you the detail in a classified setting, but I think the salient fact there, Senator, is that the FBI text alert on him at that point was more than a year old and had expired.
Well, at the point I'm trying to make is after having talked to the FBI, they told me they had no knowledge of him leaving or coming back. The name was misspelled, so I would like to talk to you more about this case.
Wow. Senator Lindsey Graham is on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and we are very glad to have you with us this morning, Senator. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. Well, you know, 3 days ago, the FBI called me at home because last Sunday I suggested maybe we drop the ball on this guy. We got notice from a foreign government, the Russians, that this guy's become radicalized, maybe joining unspecified groups to commit terrorist acts within our country. The FBI interviewed him in 2011. They interviewed his family. They apparently did a pretty good job. They contacted the Russians in October 2011 saying, do you have any more? They say the Russians never responded. Ask him, how could he go to Russia and you not know it? They tell me that the name was misspelled. It didn't go into the system. Now Secretary Napolitano says, wait a minute, we knew about it. So how could Homeland Security know about him leaving the country and the FBI not? 11 years after 9/11, where are we going here?
Yeah, I mean, we now have a director of national intelligence, James Clapper, and the whole reason for this structure that we have is to connect the dots. I mean, connect the dots was one of the main phrases that we heard so much after September 11th. And you have just very clearly pointed out some dots that were not connected. And it's not just about pointing fingers. It's about figuring out what's going on with our system so it doesn't happen again, right?
I'm totally respectful of the FBI. They're very brave. All of our law enforcement, military intelligence people deserve our respect. But we also have to understand what works and what doesn't. Look at Benghazi. Look at the story we told the American people after the attack that absolutely had no bearing on the facts. And here's another question. When the bomb went off, didn't the FBI say to themselves, do we have any suspects in the Boston area that we previously interviewed that may fit this profile? And when we got a photo of the older brother, how could our system not pick up the fact that he had already been in the system? So there's a lot to answer here.
Well, Senator Graham, do we know that it didn't? Because that was one of my big questions this morning.
I don't know.
Do we know? Perhaps it did. Perhaps facial recognition, maybe at the FBI, the second they saw that photograph and before it was released to us, maybe they were already on to him. Do we know?
Well, why would you put his photo out saying, do you know? No, I don't buy that. I mean, when they were asked by CBS and Fox, the FBI, after the attack, have you ever had any contact with either one of the brothers? They said no. It was only after the mother's interview where she talked about the FBI following the older son, did they tell us that they had him in the system. Something's not right here. I don't want to be judgmental, but I want to make sure that we're safe.
Yeah.
Between Benghazi and Boston, we're going backward in national security. This administration is letting its guard down, and it is beginning to show.
Is that what it is? Is it a different mood in this administration? Because I go back to the Patriot laws and FISA searches and all of the things that should be able to kick in a situation like this. If the Russian government has alerted us to someone, shouldn't we be able to, watch their cell phones, watch their computer activity? Shouldn't all that be going on?
If you Google terrorist, you're going to find the older brother on the web, YouTube videos of him declaring war on us, saying we're a Christian nation, we're infidels. How could the FBI, after the interview in 2011, not pick up the traffic where this guy's visiting radical websites? This administration has a hard time, embracing we're at war with radical Islam. He should be nationally security interrogated. You know, he's got a lawyer. He deserves all the protections of a citizen in federal court. He can't be tried by military commission because citizens are excluded. But he's a prime candidate for enemy combatant status. And contrary to what some people say, American citizens have been held as enemy combatants for decades in this country when they side with the enemy. This idea of interviewing him through a lawyer makes no sense to me for national security purposes.
So much more to talk about. We hope you'll come back.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.